Earth is often called the blue planet because a significant portion of its surface is covered by water. Scattered amidst the vast oceans are land masses that sometimes defy conventional laws of geography and biology. These isolated worlds represent unique, unparalleled ecosystems shaped by nature. Today, we will undertake a detailed analysis of the most astonishing islands on our planet, delve into their geological past, and explore how humans managed to survive in such extreme conditions. Our journey begins in the Indian Ocean, with an archipelago aptly named by scientists as the Galapagos of the Indian Ocean, Socotra. This island, separated from the African continent approximately 6 million years ago, and has since evolved in complete isolation. This crucial factor has transformed it into a true biological treasure trove. Remarkably, 37% of all plants, 90% of reptiles, and 95% of mollusks found on this island are endemic, meaning they are unique species found nowhere else on the planet. The island's signature feature is rightfully the dragon's blood tree, or Dracaena cinnabari. Visually, it resembles a giant mushroom, or even an inverted umbrella, reaching heights of up to 10 meters. This unique shape serves as an ideal survival mechanism. Its dense canopy creates deep shade, minimizing moisture evaporation from the soil surface, while its funnel-shaped branches, like collectors, capture moisture from morning fogs and direct it straight to the plant's roots. If the bark of this tree is damaged, a thick red resin will ooze from the wound. Ancient Romans and Greeks valued it as highly as gold, using it as a precious dye and a potent antiseptic for treating gladiators' wounds. Another striking creation of the local flora is the bottle tree, or Adenium obesum. Its trunk indeed resembles a swollen bottle, with a diameter that can reach 2 meters. This trunk serves as a natural water reservoir. The plant actively absorbs moisture during rare rains and stores it for many months, allowing it to bloom profusely with bright pink flowers even during the harshest droughts. Socotra's landscape, comprising limestone plateaus and the granite Hagier Mountains rising up to 1,500 meters, combined with these exotic plants, creates the distinct impression of being on an entirely different planet. Let's move to the Tasman Sea, southeast of Australia. Here lies a stunning geological phenomenon known as Ball's Pyramid. It is the tallest volcanic stack in the world. The island is a remnant of the caldera of an ancient shield volcano that erupted 7 million years ago. Today, all that remains of the once enormous mountain is a narrow spire, soaring abruptly from the ocean to a height of 562 meters. The base area of this rock is only 1 square kilometer. Conditions here are truly extreme. There are virtually no horizontal surfaces, fresh water is extremely rare, and vegetation consists only of isolated shrubs clinging to cracks in the basalt. However, it was here, in 2001, that an incredible discovery was made. Entomologists found a colony of insects that had been presumed entirely extinct since 1920. This is the Lord Howe Island stick insect, also known as the tree lobster. These astonishing creatures can reach 15 centimeters in length and weigh up to 25 grams. On the entire massive rock stack, scientists could only find a single tea tree bush, beneath which 24 individuals were hiding. How these flightless giants reached a sheer rock face 20 kilometers from the nearest land, and how such a small population managed to survive for 80 years without signs of degeneration. These remain mysteries that geneticists are still grappling with. Currently, some of the insects have been taken to Melbourne Zoo for breeding and conservation of this unique species. Now, let's travel to Northern Europe, to the Faroe Islands. Here, on the island of Vagar, lies Lake Sørvágsvatn, known as the lake above the ocean. This location creates one of the world's most impressive optical illusions. From certain angles, the lake's water appears to be hundreds of meters above sea level, literally hanging over it, as if ready to spill down. In reality, the elevation difference is only 30 meters. The lake rests in a deep rock basin, and its shores plunge into the ocean as steep cliffs. Water from the lake drains into the Atlantic Ocean via the Bos de la Fossure waterfall, which majestically cascades directly into the salty waves. The lake's depth reaches 59 meters. During World War II, the British Army used its smooth surface as an airfield for seaplanes. Today, this spot attracts thousands of photographers eager to capture the surreal landscape where fresh and salt water are separated only by a thin edge of rock. Let's move to the eastern coast of Australia. Here lies Garry Island, better known as Fraser Island, the largest sand island in the world, stretching 120 kilometers long. The uniqueness of this place lies in the fact that dense rainforests grow directly on the sand. Normally, sand lacks sufficient nutrients for such giants, but nature found a solution thanks to special fungi in the soil that nourish the tree roots, creating a green oasis where by all laws there should be a desert. It is also home to rare perched lakes. The most famous of these is Lake Mackenzie. Its water is crystal clear and fresh, as the lake basin does not connect with groundwater and is filled exclusively by rain. The water is held atop the sand dunes by a layer of compacted peat. The sand around the lake consists of pure silica, which distinctly squeaks underfoot, and is even used for polishing jewelry. On the island's beaches, you can see the rusty wreck of the passenger liner Maheno, which was washed ashore by a cyclone in 1935. Now, it's a popular tourist attraction, resembling a set from a post-apocalyptic film. Fraser Island is also home to the purest population of wild dingoes. Due to the island's isolation, they have not interbred with domestic dogs, so strict rules apply here. Touching or feeding the animals is strictly prohibited. Our mental journey takes us to the vast Atlantic Ocean, to the Tristan da Cunha archipelago, rightly considered the most remote inhabited place on Earth. The nearest inhabited land, St. Helena, is a significant 2,430 kilometers away, and the African coast is a full 2,800 kilometers distant. The main island mass of the archipelago is the peak of an active volcano, approximately 11 kilometers in diameter. A community of 245 people permanently resides here. All these people are direct descendants of just 8 men and 7 women who settled here in the 19th century. A consequence of this limited gene pool has been an extremely high degree of consanguinity within the population, which in turn has led to the widespread prevalence of specific hereditary ailments such as bronchial asthma and glaucoma. The islanders communicate in a unique English dialect, seemingly preserved here since the early 19th century. Life in this place is harsh. The island lacks cell phone service, a proper airport, and a reliable harbor. Ships from South Africa arrive no more than 8 or 9 times a year, bringing food, essential medicines, and mail. The main source of income for the local population is lobster fishing and the sale of exclusive postage stamps. In 1961, the volcano awoke from its slumber, and a powerful lava flow completely destroyed the local fish factory. The entire population was forced to evacuate to England. But 2 years later, despite all the comforts and conveniences of the civilized world, almost all the islanders chose to return to their secluded homes on a rocky outcrop in the middle of the vast ocean. Off the coast of Ireland, just 12 kilometers from the picturesque County Kerry, a rugged rock known as Skellig Michael majestically rises from the sea. This unique island is officially a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its appearance is shaped by two pyramidal sandstone peaks, the highest of which reaches 218 meters. The island gained fame for its ancient monastic complex, built as early as the 6th century AD. Hermit monks sought absolute solitude here. With their own hands, they built approximately 600 steps leading from the water's edge to the very top of the rock. At the summit, cells skillfully constructed from stone, resembling beehives, were built. These structures were built using dry stone masonry, without any binding mortar, yet they have stood strong for a millennium and a half, steadfastly enduring the powerful storm winds of the Atlantic Ocean. The monks collected rainwater in specially built cisterns, and their diet consisted of fish and seabird eggs. Skellig Michael is also an extremely important nature reserve. Its slopes host one of the largest colonies of Atlantic puffins, numbering approximately 4,000 pairs. These feathered creatures with characteristic bright beaks either occupy old burrows dug by rabbits or create their own shelters in the soft peat covering the slopes. The island has become a true pilgrimage site for cinema fans after scenes from the famous Star Wars saga were filmed here, but access remains extremely restricted. Vessels can only dock at its shores in perfect weather conditions, which unfortunately is quite rare here. Now our path leads to Japan, to Okunoshima Island, located in the Seto Inland Sea. Today it is widely known as Rabbit Island. But behind this charming image lies a rather dark past. During World War II, this site was top secret and completely removed from all maps. A factory specialized in chemical weapons production operated on its territory, annually producing over 6 kilotons of mustard gas and tear gas. After Japan's official surrender, the factory buildings were completely destroyed and all related documents were burned. A popular theory suggests that the island's current furry inhabitants, the rabbits, are direct descendants of test animals released by workers after the plant's final closure. However, most experts lean towards the belief that those animals simply perished, and the modern population was introduced to the island by school children in 1971. Currently, this small island, with an area of just 70 hectares, is home to over 1,000 wild rabbits. These creatures have no natural predators. The import of cats and dogs to the island is strictly prohibited. The furry animals show no fear of humans and follow tourists in droves, actively begging for treats. Visitors can freely stroll among the ruins of former chemical laboratories and warehouses, which now serve as safe havens for the long-eared residents, creating a surreal contrast between a dark historical past and a charming present. In the vastness of the Arctic Ocean lies Devon Island, territorially belonging to Canada. It is the largest uninhabited island on the entire planet Earth. Its extensive territory exceeds 55,000 square kilometers, comparable in size to an entire European country, for instance, Croatia. Despite its impressive size, there is no permanent population here. The reason for this is that the island's surface is a lifeless polar desert, perpetually locked in permafrost. Devon's local landscape is so strikingly similar to the surface of Mars that leading space agencies worldwide have officially recognized it as the most accurate analog of the red planet on Earth. The island is completely devoid of trees and grass cover. Instead, a reddish, rocky soil stretches across it, cut by deep canyons and topped with ice caps. In the central part of the island lies the giant Houghton impact crater, 23 kilometers in diameter, formed approximately 39 million years ago by the impact of a large celestial body. Every summer, special expeditions of researchers and engineers arrive on these harsh lands. They live in complete isolation within special modules and venture out onto the surface exclusively in spacesuits, testing prototypes of Mars rovers and drilling equipment. The local conditions are so extremely harsh and alien-like that they allow for testing not only the functionality of the equipment, but also the psychological resilience of the entire crew. Thus, Devon Island represents the only place on Earth where one can experience being on Mars without leaving the atmosphere of our home planet. Now our gaze turns to the Philippine Sea, where the Japanese island of Aogashima lies hidden. This island is nothing less than the peak of a colossal underwater volcano. Its geological structure is unique in that it is a so-called double volcano. Within its extensive outer crater lies another, smaller, yet still active volcanic cone. And most astonishingly, people live in the narrow ring-shaped space formed between these two craters. A small village with a population of about 170 people is nestled comfortably within this natural fortress. The islanders literally live on a powder keg, as this volcano is still officially recognized as active. Despite the constant risk, locals have learned to harness geothermal activity to their advantage. Special steam cookers, powered by natural heat emanating from the earth, are installed near every home. And in their free time, the islanders happily spend time in natural hot saunas. Accessing this secluded world is extremely difficult. The island's only harbor is completely unprotected from powerful ocean waves, often leading to ferry cancellations for weeks at a time. Helicopter service serves as an alternative, but helicopters only fly in perfectly clear weather conditions. Life on the island proceeds at its own unhurried pace, entirely subject to the whims of surrounding nature, and the majestic landscapes formed by the double ring of cliffs serve as a constant reminder of the colossal, simultaneously creative and destructive power possessed by our amazing planet. Mysteries and wonders of our planet. Let's begin our astonishing journey with the Maldives, specifically with the tiny island of Vadhu. By day, this place appears as a typical tropical paradise, bathed in white sand and sunshine. However, with the arrival of night, true magic unfolds here, transforming the coastline into a living reflection of a starry sky. The coastal waves begin to emit a bright neon blue glow, visible even from hundreds of meters away. This amazing phenomenon has been dubbed the Sea of Stars. The cause of this luminescence is unique phytoplankton that reacts with a bright flash to any mechanical stimulus. Billions of these microorganisms light up when a wave rolls onto the shore, when a boat's oar glides through the water, or when a person steps along the waterline. If you walk on the wet sand, clear, glowing footprints will remain behind you. This absolutely safe yet mesmerizing spectacle annually attracts thousands of tourists eager to witness one of the most beautiful natural special effects on the entire planet. Let's move to Europe, to the waters of the Baltic Sea, where the Swedish island of Gotland lies. It is Sweden's largest island. However, our attention is drawn not to the entire island, but to the small nearby islet of Stora Karlsö. It is one of the oldest nature reserves in the world, established back in 1880. The island's landscape strikingly resembles an African savanna, which is quite unusual for northern nature. Rare orchid species grow here, but its main feature is a huge colony of common murres and razorbills. Thousands of these birds nest on the sheer limestone cliffs. Common murre chicks are born on narrow ledges located 40 meters high. They don't yet have wings capable of flight, but to survive, they must make a leap down to the rocks by the sea, where their parents are already waiting. The chicks still have soft bones and a significant fat reserve, allowing them to survive the fall without serious injury. This dramatic spectacle annually attracts many naturalists and nature enthusiasts. On the other side of the world, in the cold expanses of Antarctica, lies Deception Island. It is the peak of an active volcano whose caldera was flooded by the sea, forming a perfect horseshoe-shaped natural harbor. Ships can sail directly into the volcano through a narrow strait called Neptune's Bellows. The island is famous for its astonishing contrasts. Around it are the icy waters of Antarctica, with temperatures near 0 degrees Celsius. Yet on the island's beaches, the sand is black and hot. Geothermal activity heats the coastal waters, and tourists can dig holes in the sand to take hot baths, while penguins and seals serenely rest around them. In the early 20th century, a whaling station was located here. Today, rusty whale oil tanks and ruined barracks stand as a silent monument to a brutal era of whaling, half buried by volcanic ash after eruptions in the 1960s. In the Caribbean Sea lies the island of Saba, rightly called the Unspoiled Queen. Essentially, it is a massive rock, majestically rising from the depths of the sea. There are no natural beaches here, and the only road connecting its settlements was built by hand by local resident Josephus Hassel, despite engineers emphatically stating its impossibility. Saba is known for having the shortest commercial runway in the world. Its length is just 400 meters. A high mountain rises on one side of the runway, and sheer cliffs drop into the sea at its other ends. Pilots wishing to land here must possess a special license. The sensation upon landing is like a plane dropping onto an aircraft carrier's deck. The island is also the peak of a dormant volcano, and the underwater world around it is considered one of the best diving spots on the planet due to its steep underwater walls plunging into the abyss. Let's return to Japan, to Aoshima Island. This place is widely known as Cat Island. On an area of less than half a square kilometer, only about 20 people, mostly elderly, reside, along with over 120 cats. Cats were brought here by fishermen to combat mice that gnawed on nets and damaged boats. The animals multiplied and effectively took over the island. There are no cars or dogs here, so the cats feel completely safe. They meet tourist boats right at the pier, persistently demanding food. Locals believe that feeding cats brings good luck and wealth. There is even a special cat shrine. This place has become a true internet phenomenon. But it also raises an important question about the future of Japanese villages, whose populations are rapidly aging and shrinking, giving way to nature and animals. Let's move to the Persian Gulf, where humans challenged the sea and achieved a decisive victory. Palm Jumeirah in Dubai is the most famous man-made island in the world. Its scale is so grand that the clear contours of the palm tree are visible to the naked eye from the International Space Station. The island consists of a trunk, 16 fronds, and a surrounding 11-kilometer crescent-shaped breakwater. The engineering complexity of the project is truly astounding. No steel or concrete was used for its foundation during construction. The island is entirely built from sand and rocks. Its creation required 94 million cubic meters of sand, dredged from the bottom of the Gulf, a volume enough to build a 2-meter-high wall around the entire globe. To prevent the island from being eroded by currents and storms, engineers used a unique soil vibrocompaction technology, transforming the shifting seabed into solid land. The breakwater, protecting the entire structure, can withstand waves up to 4 meters high. Today, it is home to the most luxurious hotels and villas. Palm Jumeirah is a vivid testament to the fact that the planet's geography can be altered not only by natural forces, but also by the will of remarkable human engineering. The most positive place in the world concludes our selection. In the Exuma Archipelago, Bahamas, lies the uninhabited island of Big Major Key. However, tourists know it by another name, Pig Beach. There are no human settlements here, but on the pristine white sand, about 20 feral pigs and piglets freely roam, famous worldwide for their love of swimming. These animals break all stereotypes. They are usually seen on farms, but here the pigs are excellent swimmers. Upon seeing tourist boats, they boldly plunge into the turquoise waters of the Caribbean Sea and swim towards visitors, expecting treats. The contrast between a tropical paradise and its oinking inhabitants looks incredibly comical. It is still unknown exactly how they arrived on this isolated patch of land. The most popular theory suggests that sailors dropped the animals ashore, planning to return and use them for food, but for some reason never came back. The pigs not only survived, but also adapted wonderfully, becoming perhaps the happiest members of their species on the planet. Islands are not merely fragments of land, they serve as nature's laboratories and museums of human resilience.